All right, so we're looking at the best fence here. You just received your best fence system, and you'll notice when you get your best fence system, it comes with 2 holes pre-drilled in the fence for you to use. If you use these holes though, depending on which saw application you're actually using, you might see, like you do here, that lining it up with that hole on your adjustment post leaves a gap between the saw and the fence. Now that doesn't necessarily make it not work. In fact, you can use it like that and it'll be just fine, but it can be a little bit more cumbersome, especially if you don't get it adjusted just right. It can cause you to bang your wood against the fence and have to pick it up a little bit. And it also just doesn't look quite as good. So if you want to make it mount perfectly flush to your saw, there's a couple really quick steps you can do. I'm going to show you what to do. So the first thing you want to do is just remove this pin so the fence is loose. You can then pop your fence up. You're just going to slide it over to exactly where you want it compared to the saw, and then you're going to want to pop it back down. And so I'm going to leave, just about 1/8 of an inch there. That way it's easy for me to pull my fence off and back on without scratching up the saw, but you can make whatever distance you want there. Next thing is, you'll notice these holes are in the exact height, which is 5/16 from the bottom lip and 5/8 of an inch from the top lip. And you can see that right there. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm using one of our products, the AccuScribe here, but you can use any scribing tool or just measure by hand. But I'm going to set my pencil up to exactly the height of that hole, and I'm just going to go ahead and scribe a pencil line across the fence right there at the height that I want my hole drilled. And then, using a 1/8 inch drill bit, which is included in your system, all I'm going to do is I'm going to find this little notch that you maybe cannot see in the video, but you'll see it on your part. There's a little notch perfectly centered on your piece of plastic, and that notch is where the drill hole is in the plastic. And so you're going to want to hold your fence down really hard by hand, or if you have a clamp readily available, it can be nice to just clamp it so you don't have to think about it. And then at the height that you scribed your line and vertically directly above that notch, you're just going to want to go ahead and drill a new hole in your fence. And you'll notice the ones that are already in there have a nice chamfer on them. If you have a bit like this, you can go ahead and do that too, but it's not necessary in any way. Just make sure you don't have any sharp edges on it. Anyway, then you can unclamp it. You got your new hole in the fence there, and you can just stick your pin right in and you're ready to go. Just like that, nothing more to it.